你好 from Wes at Amy's Kitchen.
Today we're doing a couple of Shokupan variations.
One with a delicious apple cinnamon filling and another one with cinnamon sugar raisin filling in it.
So take a look at that card in the top if you haven't seen our original Shokupan recipe. This one's a different method, but both of them, they're going to give you lots of lift and a really soft texture.
The apple filling starts with the 2 apples that get chopped into pieces and cooked down. We found that if the pieces are too big, they tend to just fall out of the bread. So that's why we're going with dicing and shredding here.
So you're going to cook the apples down on low, just add some sugar, some cinnamon, and some water until they're really soft. If you want, you can use a blender, turn it into more of an applesauce consistency if you like that instead. And when it's done cooking, it should look something like this. Now for the bread.
We're using bread flour.
Now that's because it has a higher protein and it gives the bread its structure, which is what we're going for with a really high rise.
And the milk powder is next, which is important for the texture and the taste.
So once you have everything else in here, you're just going to put it into your mixer and blend it just for a couple minutes to get everything together. Then you're going to cover it just with some plastic wrap and leave it there for about 20 minutes, sort of an autolyze, let the dough absorb all the liquid. Then you're going to come back, add salt, and this is when you're actually kneading the dough. You want to use the machine and knead it until it actually clears the sides.
Here's the first fold we're going to do. Fold the dough over itself toward the middle. Turn the bowl 90 degrees, then fold again. We're totally gonna do 8 times. Then cover it, let it rise for 45 minutes. Then we're going to repeat that folding process again, rise it for another 45 minutes until it doubles.
Here Amy's punching the air out of the dough and she'll divide it in 2. Next, you want to roll it out and fold it like a letter, just like you see Amy doing here. Then you want to roll it into a ball. But what's happening is the dough here is springing back. It hasn't been proofed long enough, so the way to deal with that is you just put it on the side, rest it for another few minutes, and come back to it in a bit. So it's been a few minutes. Amy's back to roll it out once again, and this time you're going to want to roll it into a rectangle, and the short side is going to be about the size of your loaf pan that you're planning to use.
Spread out the filling and leave the edges clear. Roll it and pinch the seam. Dust it with some flour and let it sit while you prep the next dough.
So this next loaf is the cinnamon sugar filling. We used powdered sugar here instead of regular sugar, and that way it actually gets thicker and forms a paste instead of melting and oozing out. That's also why you see Amy squirting water on top of the filling too. So here she's pressing in some raisins and getting ready to roll the bread just like the other one. At this point, the next thing to do is to braid these 2 loaves of bread. And we do that for a couple of reasons. The first one being,
it looks amazing when it's done.
So that's a big one. But one other reason is it lets out a lot of steam. So that way, when the filling is cooking down inside of the bread and when it's baking, it doesn't leave a lot of cavities behind. So again, you're going to let this bread rise until it's doubled. It could take up to an hour and a half, so you want to just watch your loaves. Ideally, you want it to rise above the top of the pan.
We brush the bread with egg wash for color, and now we're ready to bake.
Keep in mind that you're actually using two different temperatures here. One higher in the beginning to get the outside color that you want, and a lower one later to make sure that you get the internal temperature that you want. And yes, that is really one of the best ways to know if your bread is done. Stick a thermometer inside. If not, look down below in the description for the timing. Anyway, that's the cinnamon loaf there in the front, and in the back, that's the apple.
It's sweet, it's soft, it has so much flavor. It's great as it is, and also you can toast it.
Between these two Shokupan variations, I really don't know which one's better. They're both great. I'd say make them both.
We really hope you enjoy this recipe. See you next time!